I forget what it's called.
You forgot what it's called? Puroland.
Puroland.
Sanrio Land.
I want to be in the camera. Bye.
Puroland, also known as Sanrio Puroland, is an indoor theme park in Japan that is dedicated to the world of Hello Kitty and other popular Sanrio characters.
Please change it for the Yamanote Line, the Shonan Shinjuku Line, the Tobu Tojo Line, the Seibu Ikebukuro Line, the Marunouchi Subway Line.
Right now, we're taking the subway for our first time ever in Tokyo, Japan. And it's pretty exciting because the subway system is obviously underground, but underground you'll also find incredible infrastructure like grocery stores and full-on shopping centers. It's impeccably clean, and even when you think you've gone down pretty far already, you'll go down even further to get in your organized line to hop on the train to Sanrio Land. Okay, so the adorable adventures begin right at the Keiotama station, where you can see Hello Kitty's bow popping up everywhere and your favorite Sanrio characters just creeping in the corners. There was also these adorable conductor statues of Pom Pom Purin and Hello Kitty, and I'm sure there were much more Sanrio things in every little crevice and corner. I tried to get and capture as much of it as I could while we were walking to the front doors, but of course I'm not going to make my boys wait for me to film everything, and we wanted to get into the building as soon as possible. We came up to the back side of the building and we were shocked at how huge Sanrio Land really is, and I was incredibly impressed with the design of this building as well as its pristine form. It looked like there wasn't even a morsel of like weather dampening or any type of wear and tear. It looked really quite new to my eyes, and every little detail from the kind of Baroque style entrance to the shimmery pastel tiles, everything about Sanrio Land is extremely thought through, and when you first enter, you're bombarded with cuteness and color, and it's just a very, very exciting place. So on a side note, you want to register online, use Google Chrome as it will auto-translate the website, which is all in Japanese, and then you'll get an email to your phone which you can show at the front door to help expedite your entry into Sanrio Land. Puroland is filled with themed attractions and experiences that transport visitors to the magical world of Sanrio. From interactive shows and rides to shopping and dining experiences, there is something for everyone at Puroland. On a little side note, everything that you see here is actually underground. So we did go down 2 flights of stairs to get into the line for the boat ride, and everything that Yolome is looking at here is in fact below ground, and impressive is truly an understatement for this place. Adorable, whimsical design everywhere you look in Puroland. You'll be surrounded by cute and whimsical design elements. From the colorful and playful architecture to the adorable costumes and props, the park is designed to be a fun and immersive experience that appeals to visitors of all ages.
Look at these.
I feel so happy.
Oh, the photo.
That's us. I got turned into one of them.
I knew exactly where the camera was. Wasn't that such an adorable ride? Oh my goodness. So we need to explore this place even more. There's so much to see and do. And there are people waiting there for a performance, but note there are other theaters for even more performances. So we get off the ride and we decide we're a little bit hungry, so we head over to the character food court. Now there are 2 food courts in the building, although on the menu, or the map rather, I think they had called them restaurants. So we were kind of expecting like a restaurant situation, but the food courts are really adorable. I was able to nab a table, a cinema roll table no less. I was a little bit worried that we wouldn't be able to get a table, but I was able to get this one, so good. And then I noticed that we were under some sort of Hello Kitty something. Later we found out that it is Lady Kitty's house, Hello Kitty's mom. There's a bunch of stores in the building which are all kind of themed differently, and then this is Pom Pom Purin's photo op, which had a very true aesthetic to Pom Pom Purin. This really cool install of all these plushies and plush walls, and then at the end of this hallway there is a little couch and like a little Instagram or photo booth. Now there were also these other rooms in the building which were collaborations with other companies. So the next slide that's coming up is like this candy room that smelled like candy. But then there was another room that smelled like baked goods, and yeah, this is a whole other, I think 2 floors down, or two flights of stairs down into the cave of Sanrio. Okay, so this was my favorite part of the day, seeing Wishmamel's performance, and I was so grateful that I was able to take some pictures and videos of her at the end of the performance, because they were very adamant about making sure people weren't recording during the performance. When the performance had finished, I realized that these crystals on stage were real, and then I noticed that there were real crystals everywhere in this cave. So the theater was modeled to be like a fairyland cave, and it made perfect sense because I was crying during the performance. I was just so overwhelmed with emotions and inspired. So we did show up 40 minutes after they opened, and we actually missed a few attractions because of just the timing of things. There's so much to see and do here, so I highly recommend 2 full days if you're heading this way. We got in line right away for the boat ride, and we still waited about 40 minutes. They had these estimated wait times at the start of each line, and to leverage the things that we wanted to do, we weren't able to get on the My Melody ride. So I bought a ticket to meet Pachaco, and this was one of the best parts of my trip. It is so hard to say what my favorite moment was because I feel like every single second was my favorite of just being in Japan. I really adored the designs in this character residence building, which looked like a spaceship inside. So they had these different rooms, which were supposed to be like apartment designed rooms for each of the characters. I don't know if you saw, but you just saw a little glimpse of Kuromi there in her room. And as you can see, she is very popular. There were also many girls who were completely themed like Kuromi. And then there was one super hardcore Pachaco fangirl in front of me in line, and I secretly wished I was kind of her. She was decked out so dope, all in Pachaco gear. Now, I waited here for quite some time. My ticket was good for half an hour, but I had waited, I think it was 15 minutes already. And what I realized is they were waiting for more people to sign up for Pachaco before he came out. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, a bunch of people had arrived. Suddenly the lineup was full, and then he appeared. Before I left, I had to take a little sneak peek at My Melody, and the day was coming near to the end, so we had to figure out what we were going to do. I feel like I could have definitely spent a couple $100 in a few hours on this floor in this area because it was all crane machines with Sanrio characters that weren't in the shops. And even though these little rides here are for children, if I could fit in them, I feel like I would have definitely rode them, or at least tried to get a picture with every single one if I was in the right outfit. But we really weren't spending too much time getting ready every day. We were trying to fit in as much as possible, and traveling with my son, I just wanted to make sure that we had all our ducks in a row every single morning. So we end up getting in line for Lady Kitty's house because it looked like quite an attraction, and it was a pretty large size, so we really wanted to go in there. And of course, Hello Kitty is kind of the front runner for Sanrio, so we definitely had to pay her a visit. When we actually got in, there was so much to take in and enjoy, but the lineup was actually rather long to actually meet her, so we ended up skipping that because my little one was hungry and we still wanted to make it to the little twin stars room. But we did spend quite a bit of time just in Lady Kitty's house in general, and it was very pristine, white, lots of floral accents, and it was just a very feminine and kind of bourgeois type of place. Lots of girls were posing here in this kind of gazebo for a photo, and when I walked up into it, I realized it was overlooking the food court, so that was kind of cool. There was this traditional install with little Hello Kitty waiting to perform a tea ceremony with you, and this cute little mini bonsai garden set up outside of the install. And then her little bear, I'm not too sure of his name, he popped out of that little doorway there. And then there were these really pretty other installs in the room that you could take photos of or photos with. Before we left, we drowned in this teacup, and then we went to the bouncy houses, which were open at a specific time, and it was fantastic because we definitely needed to give our feet a little rest. My little one jumped around, and then suddenly it was night. Throughout the year, Puroland hosts a variety of special events and festivals that add an extra layer of excitement and fun to the park experience. From holiday-themed events to concerts and parades, there is always something new and exciting happening at Puroland. Because there is so much to do, it's easy to see why locals would get an annual pass. Comment below if you wish you had an annual pass here and what would be the first thing you would do. So this is the largest shopping area in the building, although there is a designated area for My Melody and Kuromi, as well as Cinema Roll and Wish Me Mel, and another smaller shop that was near the main outdoor theater. It was really cool because there was tons of merch that I hadn't seen at any of the other Sanrio stores. And there really are so many things here that you could only get at Sanrio Land. So if you are a Sanrio collector fanatic and you haven't been to Sanrio Land yet, bring a suitcase. I did see a couple girls in line with suitcases, and I'm pretty sure they filled them to the brim. At the back of the shop were these fantastic Sanrio character statues that looked like they were flocked or like a firm plushie. They were very realistic and just perfect. Everything about their costumes and also the display itself looked like it was made literally yesterday. It was such a challenge because I really wanted so many things, but I did have that space constraint in my luggage, as I had talked about in my other video. So I had to think long and hard about what was going to come home with me. We got hungry again, so we went upstairs and we found the Wish Me Mel shop. Now, this absolutely blew me away because I was so emotional and inspired by her performance, and I hadn't really seen many character goods of her before in my life, let alone really even knew her name. So it was just groundbreaking to see her sing and dance and then be in her specialized shop. I loved the window displays. Unfortunately, a lot of the plushies, basically all of the plushies behind the glass were just display. They weren't available for sale. And there was like a limited amount of plushies that were available for her. I ended up taking these photos because with the fluorescent lighting, I couldn't really take videos. It was just not pleasant to the eye on camera. There was this Wish Me Mel Angelic Pretty collab here. And then these were the plushies that were available, these little mascots. And then they had some larger ones that were on the shelf. What I bought at Sanrio Land will be in a separate video, so if you're interested in that, be sure to look out for it. And comment below your favorite Wish Me Mel items that you saw here in this footage. If you are looking for character goods in Japan, I do have a hookup with a fantastic proxy that offers reasonable shipping rates, definitely better against some of those bigger retailers that you'll use like Buy as a proxy for online. So a link to that proxy is in the description below. This is the other food court, and it was completely different. Each area of the food court was color themed to a specific character. So if you were rocking merch of your favorite character that day, you could go and get a photo with a really big, colorful backdrop of your favorite character. My son ordered this Gudetama beef bowl, so we sat in the Gudetama section. And I was really happy that we got to do this because unfortunately the Gudetama performance was completely sold out of seats. Well, they ran out of seats. So if you're looking to go see that performance, be sure you get the earliest one and make it a priority if you are attached to that. Luckily, my son is so mature, and although that was one of the things he really wanted to see because there was so much going on in the building, he wasn't really upset about it, but I was definitely disappointed because we had waited quite a bit of time and organized to go see the last performance. We even showed up right as the time it was starting, but it looks like we should have lined up and arrived maybe 10 or 15 minutes before. I think also because he had his cinema roll, he was in pretty good spirits overall. So the day is coming to a final end. There was about 20 minutes left before they started to announce people needed to leave. So I'm really glad that we were able to make it to this magical room. I didn't turn the star wheel because there was just too long of a lineup for it, but you can wish upon a star and see what cute character appears on the wall. There were little mini lines to take pictures with all of these installs, and someone was even crouched down to get a picture of this, and I thought, oh yeah, I should get a little picture of that as well. So cute. There was this little mailbox that people were putting things in, the Kiki and Lala mailbox, and then there were these to scale miniature photo ops for children. I ended up getting in the lineup to take a photo of Yolume, sometimes I call her Yolume, sometimes Yolume, with this little Twin Stars bubbly bathtub. And I was just in love with all of the really adorable girls who were dressed for the occasion, who were lining up. There were a lot of girls lining up in this room for photo ops, and I can really see why. It was definitely the most kawaii or like yume photo op backdrop. Another special thing is my partner actually proposed to me right after this moment, and we just kind of kept to ourselves because that's kind of just how you do it in Japan, and didn't make a big drama about it, but it was a perfect way to end the day at Sanrio Puroland. When we left, there was also this gorgeous sunset, and surprisingly, we weren't tired. We were very, very relaxed and fulfilled. So I know that we will be back because it was a magical place that I have to frequent at least once a year. There were things that we missed and characters that I still have to meet personally. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and share with your Sanrio community, and I'll see you in the next video.